Hi beautiful souls, welcome to Elle's Temple. My name is Elle, I am a goddess guide and tarot reader, and today I am so excited to be doing a little bit of a different reading from my usual readings. I felt like because we are now in Taurus season, and Taurus, as we know, is ruled by Venus or goddess Aphrodite, and when I was shuffling the cards to see what goddess cards wanted to come out or which goddesses wanted to speak for this week's reading, goddess Aphrodite came out, and I felt like, well, if goddess Aphrodite wants a reading, then she shall get a reading about love. So today's reading is going to be about who is your spouse, future spouse or current spouse or life partner going to be. So it's going to be a bit of a lighthearted reading. I've already pre-pulled your oracle cards, and we've got some tarot as well, which I'll get into shortly. We're going to be taking a look at the energies of that person, like the sort of their character, I guess you could say, their personality. We're going to look at the adjoining energy, so the connecting energy in the relationship or in your connection. We might take a look as well at there are some cards around like how you might meet, and also some guidance from their higher self to you, and also some guidance from your higher self in terms of next steps to call this relationship in. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then get a cup of tea and settle in and enjoy the reading. So to introduce the piles, we have got pile number one, Goddess Maya. If you're drawn to Goddess Maya, and the keyword on this card is illusion, and the number is 34. So if you are drawn to the beautiful Goddess Maya, you will be pile number one. Sorry, the timestamps will be below. Card number two, or pile number two, is the beautiful Goddess Aphrodite. Romantic love is the keyword, and it's card number two. So if any of those are resonating for you, then you'll be pile two. And for pile number three, you are Goddess Nyx, and the keyword is secrets, and it's card number 39. So that will be pile number three. So my lovelies, take a moment to pause the reading if you need to, and tune into the energy of each of the piles, see which one draws you in, and I will see you in your pile. Hi there, pile number one. If you chose the beautiful Goddess Maya illusion, then this will be your reading. Now, just to warn you guys, in case you're hearing a little bit of crackling, that sound is a fire that's right behind me. So you've got a beautiful warm energy emitting through to this reading. But in case you're wondering what that strange cracking noise is, just so that you don't feel too put off, hopefully. Okay, so Goddess Maya, what I got through channeled messages wise for this pile is, for you, I feel like this person is going to be someone who is going to absolutely come out of the blue. It's going to feel a bit like a mirage, almost like you're kind of almost wondering, like, is this for real? Is this person for real? Like, is this actually happening? Like, it's going to feel really surreal is kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like the whole connection, the way you meet, how things unfold, just so many different things, how like, you know, little quirks of your personalities or little quirks of things that you like about each other that are just like so uncanny. And it's just going to feel like, this just feels like a dream. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It feels like it's not so much an illusion in the sense of like something, you know, sometimes illusions can be something that needs to be uncovered or something that might not be good. But this is more like a dream-like illusion. Like it feels so almost like a dream in terms of how you meet, how they are, what the connection is like between you. It's very sort of dreamlike. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting from this card. So let's have a look at the character of your person. So we got grounded, card number 5, and we've got a stag here. So I feel like from this card with the red color as well, this is linked with the root chakra. So this person could be very grounded in who they are. They're very connected possibly with their family or with their something to do with their roots, in the sense that you could meet them in their place of birth or near their, you know, where they've been brought up. They might, you know, be someone who's always lived in the same place. or at the very least you kind of meet them somewhere where they've grown up, because there's this sort of sense of like loyalty to the tribe and loyalty to their family and like a strong root chakra. That may not be the case for all of you though. For some of you, this could just be that this person is very stable, very grounded, very good with material things in life. They could be an earth sign. So they could just be someone who, I'm getting with the ladder, they could be someone who's kind of climbed the corporate ladder, if you like, or they've just done very well for themselves, on a sort of external level, on a financial level or material level. So that could be a strong characteristic. But more than that, their energy is just very grounded. They're a very grounded soul. They're a very grounded person. They're very loyal and they're very strong in who they are. They know who they are. So when you meet this person, they're already they've already kind of worked out their identity, if you like. Let's see what else we've got. So we've also got independent here. So this person is quite independent. We've got the cat. So they could like cats, that could be something that you bond over, but they could kind of have that sort of characteristic of being a bit like a cat, where they like their freedom, they like their independence, they like to be able to go where they want when they want, or kind of work in the way that they want. So maybe some of them are like, for some of you, they could be, I'm picking up a vibe of someone being like an entrepreneur or something like that. So they've kind of they've created a lifestyle for themselves where they have that location independence or lifestyle freedom or something along those lines. Or if that's not the case, then it's more just that they are very independent within a relationship. So even though I don't sense that this is necessarily going to be a problem, I feel like if this is someone that you're attracted to, that's something that you're perfectly comfortable with. It's not like independence in terms of taking so much time out that you are wondering what's going on. It's more of they're very grounded and very loyal and very committed, but also have that love of, to have a little bit of freedom in terms of just enjoying their own hobbies and enjoying their own time doing things, and especially their work, is what I'm picking up. So the energy between the two of you, the connecting energy, is unrecognized. Now I feel like this is actually saying that you two are going to recognize each other. So it's kind of like something where previously this might have been a wound that either yourself or your person might have had in previous connections, or possibly in childhood. So I feel like this is something that's going to be healed within your relationship. You're both going to have such a strong energy of like recognizing each other and recognizing each other's souls. And oh, that's really beautiful. Recognizing each other for who you really are and your true self, that you'll be able to heal this wound. You'll be able to, it's like the relationship is like a balm to this wound. It's like it just resolves all the pain of any kind of issues with feeling properly recognized and properly seen and properly heard in any kind of previous connection or any kind of childhood or upbringing or anything like that. That's going to be a huge factor, a huge connecting factor, that you'll just like almost like instantly recognize each other. It's like your souls know each other. This could be a kind of like a twin flame or a soulmate type connection, but don't get too hung up on labels. It's not really about that. It's more about just the fact that your souls perhaps know each other from a past life or something like that, or you just feel very familiar to each other. Maybe you just have a sort of similar soul vibration in some way, or even it could be with that root chakra and grounded, it could be that you both come from the same place, or the same culture or the same upbringing or the same tribe or something like that, and you could have many of the same kind of wounds from that root, from that tribe or that family unit, or that your roots, and that's something that you've come to, like, you're going to come together to heal between the two of you, where you recognize each other for who you really are and you allow each other to be independent and free. Kind of like I'm just thinking of when I had a cat. I remember when I first got her, because I'd never had a cat before, and the first couple of times I used to let her out, and I was always a little bit nervous if she was going to come back, but she always did. And so there's this beautiful kind of energy of like letting the person have their freedom. And I think they'll do the same for you if you're quite an independent person as well, and you like, you know, being free, maybe you like traveling, things like that. You'll kind of allow that within the connection, and you'll allow that like freedom to kind of spend time doing things and doing hobbies or doing professional development. But it's like you just trust that, like, you know, like a little cat, it's going to come back. It's going to come back, you know, for its meal or whatever. So that's really like a really sweet it's a really sweet permissive energy is kind of what I'm picking up between the two of you. So that's really beautiful. Okay, so in terms of the energy of how you're going to meet, we got power here, which is pretty exciting, because I feel like with this, it's going to be like lightning strikes. Like I also got with the Maya illusion card, we had that sense of it being almost like really surreal. And I feel like with power and that sense of almost like surrealism, it's like it's just going to take you by surprise when you meet this person. It's really not going to be something that you will have planned. It's really not going to be something that you could predict. It's really, unfortunately, it's one of, I know a lot of people don't like hearing this, but it's that classic thing of like, when you least expect it, they will appear kind of thing. So it's like, I feel like this person isn't going to come through traditional methods of dating. Maybe like they might, but I kind of get the vibe that it's just going to be like a lightning strikes thing. Like you're going to meet in a coffee shop, or you're going to meet in like a really random circumstance, like you sort of bumping into each other, or like, you know, like it's like a storm, like through something that you least expect, like some kind of difficulty, maybe like you kind of getting the vibe of like someone's had some kind of like, I don't know, like maybe a grief or something, like a funeral, and then you meet at a funeral. That's quite dark, but you know, it could be something, you know, like that. Like it's when you least expect it, like the last place you would have expected to meet someone. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting. Like it would just be like so spontaneous, so out of the blue, lightning strikes, boom, you just see each other, and it's like it just clicks, and you just kind of know. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this power card. It's like really powerful, it's really strong, but it's really, really unexpected. Like the way kind of, you know, a storm can just hit and lightning can strike. It's like when you're least expecting it, that will be when you meet this person. So we'll get into a little bit more detail with the tarot and like maybe get some more ideas of how that might come about. But it's definitely going to be it's very unlikely it's going to be through something like online dating or something like that where you're kind of scanning for someone, or you're kind of in an energy of like waiting or assessing or something. It'll just be like out of the blue that you'll meet them. So I'm going to move this up a little bit so we can fit everything in. Okay, so now we've got, actually, so next is the guidance, which I'll come back to. So let's get straight into the tarot card. I've already pre-shuffled, so let's just go straight in and get some messages. So how is Power 1? I can get some more details on how Power 1 is going to meet. Woo, strength. Interesting. Yeah, so I feel like with this card and the Power, this is going to be something where either your person or yourself, you've been going through a bit of a rough time, and you've had to really like sort of galvanize all your strength to get through something. So maybe it's like off the back of like, possibly off the back of a divorce almost, or like off the back of another breakup, or off the back of like, I picked up someone possibly grieving something, or like, you know, having to like relocate, or you know, go through redundancy and have to find a new job, but something where you've had to like really galvanize a lot of inner strength, but you've and possibly also survive some kind of storm. But after doing that, it's like you are so much stronger and clearer in yourself and who you really are, which again, I spoke about that with that grounded card, that your person is like, your person is also quite grounded and they know who they really are. So it's important that you've done that work to kind of find that inner strength already. So I'm also getting a vibe of there's all these animals here, and we had the cat as well. So maybe some of you could meet through some kind of animal thing or something, maybe animal sanctuary work or something. So that might just be for like one person. If you maybe already, you know, if this is about your current person or something, this could be a sign that like if you've met them through some kind of animal work, then that could be your person. but yeah, I think it's more to do with like that creating, galvanizing that like lion strength within you, and needing to get to a point where you feel really strong in yourself before this person's going to kind of come in. So let's see what else we've got with the tarot. Have more information, please, on how pile 1 is going to meet their person. How is pile 1 going to meet? Ooh. Wow. Ace of Swords, my goodness. I mean, the cards are kind of just saying the same thing, so we're going around in circles a little bit, but we've got lightning strikes here and lightning here, so it's kind of a double whammy message here of like, this is just going to be voomph, like this sudden offer, like it's very out of the blue, like clouds part. Again, it's like something difficult has happened, either for them or for you, or maybe both of you independently. And then the clouds have parted, and all of a sudden there's this new beginning. There's this new opportunity, this new person that comes in, and boom, it's just like lightning strikes. That's just the vibe I'm getting. It's like you will just know. I feel like pile 1, you will know your person as soon as you see them. Sorry, the light is a little bit glary on that card there. But yeah, I think it's just going to be so spontaneous, really, is the vibe I'm getting. So I don't think there's much need to kind of, I feel like your guides are being a little bit cryptic for a reason. So let's go into, this is just a short reading for today, so I'm going to move straight into the guided messages. So the next card that we've got, oh my goodness. I haven't actually looked at these cards. I've just pre-pulled them. I've pre-shuffled them. So this is as much of a surprise for me as for you. I cannot believe this. Storm, Wisdom, Power, and we had the storm there. So you've got 3 cards about like a storm. So something about a storm passing, allowing some kind of healing maybe to happen, allowing the dark clouds to pass. And then this is going to be like this amazing new beginning, this very healing connection that's going to come in for you. So I am going to read a little bit from the book for this card. This is the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and the messages in here are amazing, and there is a whole healing process which I'll hold up to the camera for you guys to do in your own time, because it's a really long message, so I won't read the whole thing out, but I'll read the intro and then hold the rest up. So Angel, Raziel, and Peter's Sight. Storm Wisdom. We bring you the gift of Storm Wisdom. This is the fierce cleansing nature of divine compassion made manifest in the world. Storm Wisdom thrills the spirit, for it understands that so much benefit and liberation will come from the process. Yet the mind may quake at the prospect of such little control over how your life events are unfolding for a time. What is happening during an experience of Storm Wisdom is that anything that has become stagnant or obstructing to your spiritual growth will be uprooted. You may find that the divine storm of transformation powering through your life creates a feeling of upheaval, creative chaos, uncertainty, and excitement. You may feel simultaneously liberated and exhilarated, whilst also wondering if everything is going to be okay. You must remember that you will only be asked to give up something in order to receive that which is far more beautiful and supportive of your sacred life journey, which I feel like is this connection. You must also remember that the cleansing power of the storm will revitalize you, bringing you fresh energy and perspective to take forward in your journey, and is a divine blessing which will only bring good into your life. Oh, that's really beautiful. So I will hold the rest up if you want to take a photo. Hopefully it's clear enough for you. You can just pause the video and take a picture, and then you can do the healing process in your own time. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping the camera there. There we go. And it's interesting because I'm filming this reading actually during a big rainstorm here. I happen to be in New Zealand at the moment, and so it's the end of autumn and it's very rainy, so I feel like that's very appropriate for your reading. It's like rain is cleansing, and there's maybe a bit of a cleansing and a purging and a clearing out of old energies that aren't serving you first before this connection is going to come into your life. But it's going to come in very suddenly, and yeah, bring and very in a very surprising way. So, and it will bring you both a lot of healing, I feel like. So that is the message from your person's higher self to you. Now, this is the daily ritual for you to help the energy to help magnetize them in, if you like. And we got presence, card number 30, and the mantra is I'm at peace in the present moment. So I feel like for this pile number 1, maybe doing some kind of meditation could be really helpful to go through this like storm energy. If you're feeling like you are in a lot of upheaval or a lot of creative chaos or a lot of like sense of like everything's crazy in my life, like I definitely picked up a vibe of some of you might be like moving house or, you know, moving towns or moving jobs or, you know, coming out of an old relationship and wondering if, you know, when the next person's going to be around the corner sort of thing. So I feel like meditating, grounding, remember we've got that grounded energy here. So grounding yourself, connecting with the earth and just connecting with your inner self, your higher self, and being in the present moment will be really, really helpful to ground your energy and get through this time and be able to call this person in if that's something that you're wanting to prepare yourself for. So that's your daily ritual card. And then we've got 3 guidance cards from your spirit team to you, and we have got, instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. That is really beautiful. So I feel like that's coming back to that strength card again of like cultivating that inner strength to get through. So maybe you have been through some difficulties and maybe you've absorbed a lot of like energies from people or a lot of projected fears or things. Like maybe I'm picking up a vibe of someone who might be a bit older or something, and maybe people are like, oh, well, you know, aren't you a bit old to go dating, or some horrible comment like that. Like, just ignore that if that is what you're getting. Like just any fears that people are trying to project onto you about anything. You know, just let it go with peace and love, and just, you know, choose to reflect love instead, or choose to feel love instead, because that's going to help you stay in the right energy to be able to call this person in. So that is one message from your spirit team. And then we've also got guidance is available to me now. I know that angels, ancestors, and spirit guides are always at hand. I do not walk alone. Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like for those of you who might be feeling, oh, and I've just noticed, sorry to interrupt, but these 2 cards, like they're kind of clouds, but they look like they're kissing. That's really cute. Anyway, sorry. I kind of feel like for any of you who might feel like you are going through a period of being alone right now, that is for a reason. So to really just trust that this difficult storm will pass. It will feel quite intense. If there is something that's been taken away from you or something that has been pulled out of your life, it was for a reason. It's because it's not the person that you're meant to like spend the rest of your life with, or you know, create a foundation with, if that's something that you want or commit to. That wasn't your person. So if you are wondering that, if you've just gotten out of something, that's confirmation. Like that's not the right connection for you. You are meant to be alone right now. If you are single, that's very important for you to kind of cultivate that strength, as we spoke about with the strength card. And then once you're back in your power, once you're strong enough again, the right person will definitely come in. Like this connection is very fated. I feel like it is going to come towards you. It's just a case of like, you know, really trusting. I feel like that's kind of a strong message that's coming through, to really trust that you have all the guidance that you need, and this person is definitely going to come through, but there's just going to be a little period of time of needing to heal and like clear out things that aren't working for you right now. So that is the second message. And last but not least, we have I cherish every cell in my body. Beautiful. So I feel like with this there's like I'm getting like a chakra healing that might be useful for you. There's a lot of like sort of dark energy around the outside, but I feel like this is linked with this card about taking on the fear of others. It's like you are a really beautiful rainbow soul. So some of you I'm just picking up with the rainbow aspect. Some of you might be LGBTQ, but not necessarily for all of you. But with the other message I'm getting with the rainbow side of things is like chakra healing could be really important for you right now. That might help clear out some negative energy that's stored in your chakras, which are just the energy centers in your body. So you can look up, there's plenty of meditation videos on YouTube, or even just music. If you don't feel like meditating, you can just play music and it can help to clear out negative energy from your energy centers. Some of you might be empaths. You might resonate with that label, and you might take on and absorb a lot of negative energy from other people. Because I'm just getting this vibe of like, this is like your beautiful angelic pure energy in the middle, and there's like all this kind of darkness around the outside trying to make its way in, or maybe it has a little bit kind of affected your aura a wee bit. So maybe for some of you, just doing some grounding, some clearing, purging any negativity that you've taken on from other people, doing some chakra clearing with those sort of rainbow colors there, and really cherishing your body. So I feel like as well, that's making sure, eating, drinking plenty of water, seeing yourself as the goddess or god that you are, like really seeing your body as your temple type thing is the vibe I'm getting from that. Cherish every cell in your body. Okay, so that's all the messages that I have for you lovelies today. I hope that resonated for you. Please leave a comment below if it did. I really love to hear from you. It was a slightly shorter message today, so I hope that still supported you in some way and gave you some hope if this is something that you are wanting to call into your life. And all the best with your upcoming, with the rest of the Taurus Venus season. And I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. If you chose the beautiful goddess Aphrodite and the card Romantic Love, then this will be your reading about your future spouse or life partner. Okay, so the energy that I got from this pile for Aphrodite is very much so that this relationship is going to be very romantic right from the get-go. So this person is going to really romance you. There's going to be a lot of like flowers and just being treated and sort of really pampered is the kind of energy that I'm getting, like rose petal baths and things like that, and chocolates and lots of gifts. So their love language might be gifts. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting. Like, it's just going to feel very romantic right from the get-go. And this is something that's going to continue throughout your relationship. It's part of the sort of energy between the two of you, is that it's very romantic. It's very honoring, like the goddess that you are. No matter how you identify, we have goddesses in all of us. It's just a feminine energy that no matter what gender we are, we can tap into. But it's like that's sort of the energy that's being honored here, is that feminine energy is very much being honored, or that receptive energy, that sensual energy is kind of the vibe I'm getting. So any kind of sensual things that you both like to do, like massages with like rose oil or that type of stuff. It's like there's going to be a lot of that sort of thing. Woo! So very yummy energy. I'm also picking up that some of you, your person may be Taurus actually, or possibly Libra, as their sun sign, or strong in their chart, because Aphrodite or Venus energy rules both of those signs. So that could be another kind of indicating factor. So yes, beautiful. Okay, so let's get into the energy of their character, or a little bit more about your person. So we have got card number 7 with loyal. Beautiful. So this person's going to be very loyal. They're going to be very committed. They're a very loyal person to everyone in their life. They're very loyal to themselves, to their own projects and things. I'm also getting with the peacock here, like they are very proud of what they do, but not necessarily in an arrogant way, just in a, it's like they have a healthy sense of self-esteem and self-love. And also I did get that, actually, I meant to mention that with the Aphrodite card, that this person, when you meet them, they already have done a lot of work on themselves. So they already very much love themselves, but in a very healthy way, in a very good way. There's no like arrogance, and also no codependency or any of that kind of thing. Like, it's just a healthy sense of self-love. And with the peacock, it's like they're also able to take pride in themselves. They respect themselves. They take pride in their appearance. They might dress very well, with that Aphrodite energy or sort of Venus energy. There's that sense of like liking the finer things in life, right? Or like liking to dress well, looking nice, wanting to present themselves in a nice way or in a beautiful way. Also wanting to be around nice environments. So hence like the things like the flowers and the nice gifts and the like sensual things, so maybe some of you might go to like beautiful hotels and stuff like that. So that's the kind of vibe I'm getting with that kind of peacock and Aphrodite energy. But in terms of their character, loyal is coming through really strong. So they're going to be very loyal, they're going to be very committed, they're very loyal to their friends. So that will be something that will stand out when you meet them, that you'll just know that they are going to be loyal to you, because you'll see how loyal they are to everyone around them. Next up, we've got warrior. Ooh, beautiful, very strong person. So again, I kind of feel like that ties in with the loyal thing. Like they will go to bat for anyone that they love. They will fight anyone if someone like, was to dismiss you or insult you or anything like that. They are going to take to the streets, I'm hearing. So they're really gonna do battle with anyone who tries to cross you. They're a sort of a warrior for people that they love, or for things that they love, or they could be an activist as well. They could be someone who is very much a warrior about, like social justice issues, or things related to kind of maybe it could be anything from something that could be, one thing I'm getting, this is very specific, but it could be like something that they might have experienced from childhood that they're now very passionate about and they're like advocates for. So it could be something like maybe they were in some kind of class or caste system, is what I'm hearing, in childhood or growing up, in their upbringing, that they received a lot of maybe discrimination for or something, and so now that's something that they are a real warrior about. Like they're sort of really strong about this issue. They sort of fight about this issue. So maybe they do that in their job. They could be like a lawyer or like a human rights person, or they could do it on the side. Like maybe they just are involved with that kind of work. But there's something around being a real warrior or having a really strong character, at the very least. So even if they don't necessarily do something externally that's specifically to do with social justice, they are just a very strong character. They will fight for things they believe in. They will fight for their morals, is what I'm hearing, or things that they believe are right generally in life. So let's see, we've got one more card, which is, this is the connecting energy between the two of you. Wow. And we've got the goddess. So what did I say about that divine feminine or feminine energy? This is very much going to be your connecting energy between the two of you. So I feel like this is like Aphrodite is going to be at work in your connection right from the beginning and all the way through your relationship. There's a number 43 here, which is the number, when you add 4 plus 3, that's the number 7, which is the seventh chakra, the crown chakra. And we've got this like crescent moon on the top of this person's head, and she's got like a circle around her head, like indicating the crown chakra. So yeah, I feel like this will be a very spiritual connection from that. It will be something where maybe you're soulmates, you've known each other in a past life or something, but even if you don't necessarily believe in that, it's just something where you feel a sense of like your souls come home kind of thing, which is really beautiful energy. Like you perhaps will almost recognize each other when you meet, or you'll just feel very at home with them without necessarily knowing why. And you might just open each other's minds up a lot. Like maybe you're someone who's quite spiritual, but your person isn't necessarily, and you'll kind of open them up to that kind of world. Like you'll help open their crown chakra and help them kind of go through some kind of spiritual awakening. Or maybe they are a little bit more awakened in that area, or a little bit more connected with their could be divine masculine or divine feminine side. And so there's a kind of a crossover where they introduce you more to that side of spirituality, for example. But it's just more that this connection, because your connecting energy is the goddess, it's like this connection has a strong sense of like feminine, like the divine feminine connecting the two of you, where there's like this beautiful flowing energy. It's a very soulful connection. You are both very receptive to each other, very respectful of each other. There's a real honoring of that. There's an honoring of your intuitive selves. there's an honoring of your sovereign self as well with that crown chakra, and like your own self-sovereignty, your own ability to kind of like connect with your spirituality the way you would. So I am more strongly getting the vibe that perhaps you are going to be the more connected person, perhaps, especially if you're watching a tarot reading. That might not be something that they've been exposed to, but I feel like you are going to kind of open up that world of the feminine, if you like, or of intuition, of like connecting with spirit and that kind of side of things, of connecting with intuition. It's something that they're maybe not going to be very connected to necessarily when they meet you, but they're open-minded enough that this is going to end up being a kind of connecting energy between the two of you in some way. So that is really beautiful energy. Let's see. Let's go into the next card. Is to do with how you are going to meet this person. And we've got adventures. Beautiful. So I do see here with this that some of you might be traveling when you meet this person, or you might meet them whilst on some kind of adventure. So perhaps away from home. Maybe it's a country where there's a lot of like, it's quite exotic and like waterfalls and palm trees. So it could be like a kind somewhere like Hawaii or a beach resort type place, or I'm also getting like Bali vibes, or Southeast Asia, something like that. So maybe if this is someone that you know, if you're already connected to someone and you're wondering if this is someone that you've met doing that kind of thing, this could well be that connection. But if you haven't yet and you're single, then maybe this could be a signal that if you have been thinking about going traveling, especially to any of those type of countries, or a country where there's water, this could be a sign that might be somewhere that you meet someone important. But it doesn't have to be necessarily going on somewhere like to somewhere super exotic. It could just be doing something adventurous that you wouldn't normally do, or getting out of your comfort zone in some way, or going on some kind of adventure. The other thing is that not only is this the way that you're going to meet this person, but also this is something that is going to connect the two of you, and something that you're going to do together a lot is go on a lot of adventures together. So I feel like you are very adventurous souls. Maybe as part of this person's work, if they do a lot of social activism work overseas or something like that, you might get to travel with them and go on adventures as part of that kind of work. That could just be for a few of you, but there's definitely an energy of it being very very free, and possibly including a lot of travel, or just going on a lot of adventures together, which is really exciting. So I'm going to get a little bit more detail now from the tarot, and then we'll go into we've got a card for the guidance from this person's higher self to you, and also some guidance from spirit, and a daily ritual to help connect in and call on this person if that's something you're interested in. So stick around for that part, but let's move into the tarot now. I've pre-shuffled the cards, so we're just going to go straight in and ask a little bit more about how you're going to meet this person. So how is pile 2 going to meet their person? So this deck is really big, and I've got really small hands, so it's a little bit clumsy to shuffle sometimes. So let's just see what we get. How is pile 2? Woo! Okay. 5 of Swords. Interesting. So they could... there could have been some kind of disappointment, some kind of conflict or something before you meet this person. This is interesting. Let's get a little bit more about that. What is this 5 of Swords here for? Ooh, that came out fast. And 6 of Wands. That is victorious. So interesting. Possibly there might be a bit of a fight for this person, or maybe there's a few people fighting over them. That could be that could be something just for only a few of you. But I'm getting with these, like, there's 3 people here, and there's one person at the front kind of still holding the sword. So maybe there's a bit of a, like, you know, this person's a bit of a catch, or they're dating multiple people when you meet them, and you are going to be victorious because we've got the 6 of Wands here, and obviously we're talking about your future spouse, so don't you worry about that. You're definitely going to be victorious here. Like, you are going to get the prize for sure. So, but it might just be that there's some kind of romantic disappointment ahead, whether that's like you've got to discontinue a connection when you meet this person, or they do. So it could be that there's a little bit of something going on immediately beforehand. But let's see If there's any more messages about how pile 2 is going to meet. Whoa, that one came flying out. Crone of Cups, beautiful. So this is equivalent to King of Cups. And we've got more water energy here. So again, I feel like this is a double message, something about like overseas. I'm picking up maybe this person is from overseas, or you meet them overseas. Maybe I'm getting this person could be in the forces or something. That's quite specific. So that could be for one person, but it could just be something like that, where they have to work away from home a lot, or they travel a lot, or you travel a lot maybe, but you're going to meet them whilst traveling. And maybe they've previously been in a connection, or they're already with someone when you meet, and then they end up breaking up with that person and coming towards you. And it's a really loving connection. With the Crone of Cups or the King of Cups, there's that energy of like being really sovereign in what they have available to give. Like they are really already very full of love, and it's like their cup kind of spilleth over for you. So it's like there's a real healthy sense. I did speak of that sense of like they've got a strong sense of self-love already, so that they're able to give love. It's like they're able to give unconditional love to you because they already have that energy within. Oh, that's really beautiful. Let's just see if there's any more from the tarot, and then I'll move into the guidance from their higher selves. Any more messages from the tarot about how pile 2 is going to meet their person? Woo, Queen of Swords. Interesting. This can sometimes speak of like a very cerebral energy, a very like clear cut, quite decisive, it can be a little bit cold. Sometimes the Queen of Swords can be described as being a little bit on the cold side. I'm kind of getting that vibe with the moon and the white hair. There's just something quite like, decisive about it. So I'm kind of getting that maybe you're in this energy a little bit when you meet them. Maybe you might be feeling a little bit like ready to cut them down to size is what I'm getting. So maybe you're very much someone who's like take no crap from no one kind of thing. Like you've got strong boundaries in place. Queen of Swords has very strong boundaries in place. Like she knows her worth. She knows like who she is. She's very decisive. She's very rational. She's very like, this is what I want. Like it's kind of like I'm not taking any prisoners sort of energy is what I'm picking up. Now, just to clarify that I do read intuitively. So these are the channeled messages that I'm getting specifically from these particular tarot cards that fit in with the overall messages that I'm getting here today. So, if you're picking up a different message, by all means apply it if that's what you feel fits. But this is the messages that I'm getting through from the various guides that I'm coalescing this message for. So it may be that there is some sort of a decision that needs to be made, something that needs to be kind of clarified when you meet. It could be at their end, like I said, maybe someone's already in some kind of connection and they need to cut that away, or you might be in a connection and when you meet your person and you need to like make a decision, get really clear on that, cut that away and choose to go with this like really loving relationship. But the key thing to focus on here is not so much these outer energies, but this beautiful inner energy of the Six of Wands being very victorious, and the Crone of Cups or King of Cups being very like giving and emotionally supportive and like receptive and loving. There's just a lot of love here. So that's a really beautiful energy and what we like to see in a love reading. So let's move on to the guidance. This card is from the Alana Fairchild Crystal Mandala Oracle, and it is the card of heart healing, Angel Belfiel, and Rose Quartz. So I'm going to read the message from the guidebook, but I'm just going to read the introduction because it's a very long message. So I'll hold it up to the camera for you guys to do the healing invocation should you wish to do so. So just to read the beginning bit for you. So we bring you the gift of heart healing. Over many lifetimes, your beautiful heart has loved and lost and loved again. You have learned how to feel joy, pain, suffering, and bliss. Your wise heart knows that life is filled with darkness and light, and it chooses to love the divine and participate in life anyway. You might worry that your heart has been stretched beyond its limit, become closed or broken, yet your heart is filled with divine grace, power, and of course love. It can and will heal itself to love again, bigger, bolder, and braver than ever before. Do not doubt the healing power of your heart. There is power in your heart to heal through struggle into joy, and your heart has the gift of helping to heal others with love. Your open, kind heart helps soothe others, bringing comfort and reassurance to the world. Trust your heart and let it heal and guide you into the most beautiful and loving divine destiny waiting for you. Wow, that is so beautiful. That is a lovely message from your person's higher self to you. So I'm going to hold up the rest of the message in case you wish to take a photo and do the healing process here. So I'll hold each page up. You can pause it and take a screenshot if you wish. There's the healing process. I'll hold that up a little bit closer. Okay, and the final page. There we go. I can't guarantee the quality with YouTube videos, so I'm hoping that is going to be okay for you. But anyway, the point is you can always pause the video and tune into the energy from the card, because these cards have all been like encoded with the crystal energy when Alana Fairchild was creating this deck. So it's a very potent, very powerful deck. So even just doing your own little ritual, it doesn't have to be the exact same one from the book. It can certainly be your own ritual with a rose quartz crystal. So I've got a rose quartz here actually. So if you can get hold of some rose quartz, that could be really helpful in healing. So I am now getting a little bit more clarity on the meaning of that Five of Swords specifically here, and the Queen of Swords in your reading with heart healing, specifically pile 2. I feel like maybe some of you have been through some kind of emotional disappointment or heartbreak or kind of conflict in relationships in the past. And I feel like your higher self and your person's higher self is coming to tell you to like heal that now and release that and let it go. And know that you've got the boundaries that you need in place in order to like receive this unconditional love that's going to come from this person. And it's going to be very healing and very soothing and very blissful. But it may be that there's some pains in the past. There might have been some conflicts or some potentially difficult relationships. I'm kind of getting a vibe of like just disharmonious. Is that a word? Disharmonious. Or just not very harmonious relationships. Like maybe, and again, this could even be from childhood, like, a lot of conflict, like seeing a lot of conflict in the home, or seeing, just dealing with a lot of, it could have been addiction. Some of you might have gone through seeing things like that. You might, there might have been a lot of grief and trauma and stuff. So I feel like that's why this heart healing card has come here, because there may be a little bit of resistance to magnetizing this person in or allowing this person to come in, because your heart isn't quite healed from some past stuff. That's what I'm seeing there for you, pile number 2. So I know this is a love reading and it's supposed to be kind of all lovely and light and about your person, but if you really want to step into the energy of calling them in and this resonates, then the guidance very much from your person's self is that they want to come into your life too, but there's maybe a little bit of heart healing, and maybe they need to do some heart healing as well, because certainly it could be that they have been going through some difficult relationships or something like that. Maybe you or them might have been going through a divorce or something first before you're able to kind of come together. So there just may be some healing that needs to happen first before you can necessarily come together. That's the guidance that I'm getting. But certainly rose quartz is a really powerful crystal. A ritual that you can do is literally just lying on the ground and putting a rose quartz crystal on your heart and just holding it there for like 20 minutes and just feeling the energy of the rose quartz healing your heart, like just being very receptive to it, You don't have to necessarily do anything or say anything, just be open to the healing from the crystals. So that could be an option for you. Okay, so we have a ritual card for you now for a daily ritual that you can do to help call in this energy. And we have got, beautiful, card number 19, joyfulness. Today I bask in the energy of joy. Yeah, so I feel like if you are in a very joyful energy, and a very sort of bright and summery energy, then when you're in the energy of joyfulness, that is the right energy to be in to be able to magnetize this connection in. So we see this person kind of worshiping the sun. So again, this could be you. We spoke about going on adventures. This could be you going on some adventures, you know, out in the sun or somewhere sunny. You're wearing a sundress. You're really happy. You're just like, you know, in your element. So that could be something that, like, when you least expected, this person comes in, and it's when you're feeling really joyful that will be when, you know, you're able to, when you're able to kind of magnetize that energy, when you're able to sustain a vibration. Not necessarily all the time. Obviously, day to day, we get, you know, little knockbacks and things like that, and setbacks, and you know, good days and bad days, but on the whole, you're able to step back into that energy of feeling joyful again. And that will be the vibration that just helps bring this person in. And they will be able to, like, they will not be able to resist you when you're in this energy. Like, you will just click straight away, because they will just love to see you in this energy so much. So the more you can tap into this joyful energy, the more likely you are to call in this person. So I hope you can kind of like, feel the energy from this card. It's so upbeat. There's this beautiful yellow here, so maybe wearing yellow could be really useful. That helps connect us with our solar plexus chakra, our like inner light, you know, eating yellow foods, that kind of thing, like doing sort of sun salutations, anything like that helps you feel sunny and optimistic and joyful again. Doing activities that you love to do as a kid as well. Whatever it is that springs to mind when you hear the word joyful, that is what you need to be doing to help bring this in. Okay, so I'm going to finish your reading with a few guidance messages from your higher self to you about what to keep in mind. So to begin with, we have all that I need is coming to me in ways I could never have imagined. Yeah, exactly. So this relationship, this connection is definitely on its way to you, and you can't even conceive of how this person is going to be brought to you. I just feel like it'll be done in the most imaginative ways, like when you least expect it, when you're doing something adventurous, when you're doing something that makes you feel joyful. That will be when this person will just, boom, they will show up. So yeah, when in ways you never imagined is going to be how it's going to happen. So what else have we got here? All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Yeah, so I feel like for those of you who have been through any kind of trauma, as I spoke about, and I'm so sorry for those of you who have, if you have been through something difficult or painful, I hope you've been able to get the support that you need to go through that, because I am picking up a vibe now with that I am safe, that maybe some of you didn't feel safe as children, or you didn't feel safe in previous relationships. But this relationship is definitely one that is going to make you feel very safe. Like, you are going to feel so much safer in this relationship than any other relationship you've been in. And I'm being drawn back to the loyal thing. So for those of you who maybe didn't have partners in the past who, you know, maybe they were disloyal, or they betrayed your trust in some way, or, you know, you just didn't have consistent commitment or love or something, that is not going to be something that is going to be a problem with this relationship. I feel like this person is going to be completely trustworthy, and you are going to feel really safe in this connection. And the sooner that you can tap into that energy within yourself and heal any of those wounds from past relationships that were not harmonious, or maybe were not trustworthy, or whatever it was, the sooner you'll be able to magnetize this person in. Okay, and then we have got, last but not least, we have got my high vibe thoughts create health in my body, peace in my mind, and love in my heart. Beautiful. Yeah, so just you know, the same as this joyfulness card, the more you can tap into that high vibe energy, that high vibrational thoughts of feeling good, tapping into your joy, doing activities that bring you joy, the sooner that you can achieve these things, health and peace and love. and attract this kind of loving relationship to you if that's something that you should want to call in at this time. Okay, my lovelies, I'm going to leave your reading there. I hope this resonated for you. Please leave a comment below in the box if it did. I do love to hear from you, and I reply to each and every one of you. Thank you so, so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you aren't already, and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading, and hit the like button so it helps my my little baby channel to grow and helps me know what kind of content you guys are enjoying. And I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Goddess Nyx Secrets, card number 39, this will be your reading. So the energy that I'm getting straight off the bat from Goddess Nyx with Secrets is that this might be a secret connection in some way. So that could be something for some of you where if you've had to keep your connection a secret from other people, or you have been meeting in secret because maybe like this person is, I don't know, like a supervisor at work or something like that, or someone in a situation where you're not really meant to date, but and I don't mean this in terms of like underage or anything like that, by the way. It's just more like it's not necessarily maybe it's a cultural thing, maybe it's a like a workplace thing, maybe it's a like you know, as in it's all perfectly legal. It's just more that there's some sort of a, you know, kind of rules or something like that where you're perhaps not meant to, or it wouldn't be appropriate, or maybe like there was a previous person that is still in your friendship group that used to date this person, or that kind of vibe, you know, where it's sort of awkward and you maybe have to keep the relationship a bit of a secret at the beginning, or as you're dating or throughout, like there's some sort of a like, because of social mores is what I'm hearing, or like social like restrictions maybe. So this could be within your culture or in society, or something that you've sort of taken on within yourself, or because of family. It could be because of religion as well. So there could be some kind of like morals or something like that about this type of connection that's meant that you've had to keep it secret, or you're going to have to keep it secret if this is someone you're yet to meet. But yeah, there's some sort of energy of secrecy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. What I'm getting is that it will allow the two of you to kind of refine your connection to each other, or really work out what you mean to each other before you take it to the next level and necessarily say announce it publicly or announce it. That's the sort of energy I'm getting with Secrets. The other thing is that it could just be that you, with the Goddess of the Night energy, it's like this could be a very transformative type relationship. This could be a twin flame relationship, but I don't want to go into labels too much. But just in the sense that it's the type of connection that's going to, it might trigger you a lot, or it might trigger your person a lot. It might be something where you come into each other's lives and a lot of like stuff that's been, say, buried or hidden or kept secret, maybe even from your own self, like stuff that's buried in your psyche, or in your unconscious type thing, might be like brought to the surface really intensely to heal. And that's sort of the type of connection that you might have for a while before you can kind of like stabilize out some of those things that get triggered, and learn to manage them before you can kind of like come together in like a stable foundation. That might just be for a few of you, but either way, this connection will be very transformative and very healing, and it might bring a lot of things to the surface for healing. It might bring a lot of also, like, say, family issues to light, or things where it's like, by virtue of you two choosing to be together, against everything, say, in, I don't know, your culture or in your society or in whatever these rules are, as long as it's all legal and consensual. But, you know, if there's some other kind of issues you guys have had to really work through in order to be together, that's something that will be really transformative, almost like both just for yourselves and your own dynamic, but also like within your wider circle or wider unit or wider like maybe even community in a big way. Like maybe if some of you are, you might have a platform, or you might have something where you eventually announce this relationship quite publicly, and it could be something that it's, something that whatever cultural society you're in would normally perhaps disapprove of that. And by you announcing it in the position that you're in, actually it brings a lot of light to this issue and the discrimination maybe, or the ridiculousness of the fact that you've had to keep this secret. Like, why should you, when, like, say for example, you're in an LGBTQ type relationship or something, and like, heterosexual people can have a relationship out in the open, and you're like, this is ridiculous that we can't in this day and age, or something like that. So it could be something around one of those type of like a social issue where you actually help transform on a slightly bigger scale people's perspectives on something, because you manage to somehow work through it on a like more of a micro scale. And then because of the position that you end up being in, this actually creates change, or it creates ripple effects around you, without you even realizing, just by virtue of you two coming together. So it's a very spiritual connection, I feel like, as well. There's a lot of purple energy here around the outside. So I feel like this is very spiritually directed. Like your souls are very like timed, I'm hearing. Like it's like there's like a destiny, like, I feel like it's kind of like you can't miss this person. Like the whole unfolding of how this is going to go is timed. Like it's like destined that the two of you have to meet. Like your souls are meant to do this work. You're meant to come together. You're meant to resolve this and go through some kind of intense transformation. So yeah, let's get into your reading. That is a very powerful energy. So let's see the energies of your person first up. So we have wise. Wow. Yeah. What was I saying about the purple and the crown chakra energy or spiritual energy? And then we've got wise. We've got the owl here. So I feel like this person is very wise. They're very intuitive. They're very connected to their spirituality and their soul, and their intuition already. Or certainly this relationship is going to certainly awaken that for them. So maybe this is something that when you met, it very much got awakened in them. But I do feel like they are very wise anyway. They're a very old soul anyway, and you'll connect on that soul level very much. It's not to say you won't connect on other levels, but that's kind of like the primary, it's like a very strong characteristic of this person and a very primary like motivation of this particular relationship. What else have we got for your person's characteristic? We've also got reason. So I love this energy because I feel like this is like, this is sort of logic and rationality. So they're both very spiritual and very wise and very connected with their soul and very intuitive, but they're also very reasoned. So they have that lovely like balance. Like it's kind of, like their crown chakra is open, but their feet are grounded on the earth, and they're able to operate in a very logical world and in a very logical manner as well. They can see kind of both sides of things. They're just a very balanced person in that way. So it may be that when you meet, you don't necessarily know, or they don't necessarily exhibit how wise or like connected they are or how spiritual they are. That might be something that unfolds over time. Or it unfolds like after a while of being with them. It's really sweet. I'm seeing this energy of like you're like, oh my gosh, you're into this kind of stuff, like I don't know, sort of crystals or something like that. And they're like, yeah, like what? I've always been into that stuff. And you're like, what? And then you both are just like totally geeking out about kind of sort of spiritual topics of some sort, or like astrology or like tarot. It could be tarot or something like that, but it's like you didn't necessarily get that from them, because when you met, maybe they were kind of showing their more rational side or their logical side a little bit more, and so it's not necessarily totally apparent, but they definitely have both sides of them. And I feel like this spiritual side is kind of more the even though this is to do with their character, it's also the connecting energy. The spiritual side is the connecting energy between the two of you. So next up is the connecting energy officially, and we have got Solitary, beautiful. So what I'm getting from this is that like there's a couple of things. So I'm picking up that some of you may be very solitary in nature, or that like I feel like both of you are quite solitary in nature. You may be introverts, or you may be like INFP or something like that in the 16 personalities. But you, especially if you do some kind of spiritual work or something, or you just, love geeking out over spiritual things, you like to spend a lot of time kind of in your own energy and being very solitary and spending time on your own and recharging on your own. And then with this person, it's like that's a connecting energy. It's like you're able to be alone together kind of thing. Oh, that's so sweet. It's like you're both able to be kind of introverts together. You're both able to be kind of solitary types together. Like you don't kind of need to go with the crowd, or you don't need a big group around you. Like you just have your like, it's like you both have such strong connections with your own souls, but like you're able to just exist very harmoniously together, like almost like without needing to like say a lot. It's like I'm picking up that vibe of like, how sometimes old people, like they've got to know each other so well, they sort of connect telepathically almost, and it's like they're just sitting there in like a companionable silence. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting with that solitary thing. The other thing I picked up is that this is something where with the connecting energy, it's like I'm seeing with these two keyholes here, it's like you both respect each other's space a lot. It's like you both have a lot of space built into your relationship where you may both need to go off to like your separate rooms. Like with the separate keyholes, it's like you might have a sort of room of one's own kind of thing where you go off and you do say your, whether it's spiritual practices or writing or like healing work or something like that, or just reading, or just it could be chilling out and playing computer games, or whatever it is you do to kind of, chill out and be restored to, or just like have your own time and your own space and do your own things without kind of anyone like judging you or interfering or whatever like that. And they are really cool about that. So if that's something that you need, if you're like, oh my gosh, when I get home from work, I just need some solitary time, big time, and I need someone who can understand that, they do. And also they need that too. So like they also have like their little room of one's own kind of space where they go off and they do their things, whatever that is, that like helps recharge them. And it's like you're both uber respectful of each other's need for space and solitary time. So you have that built into your relationship as the kind of connecting energy, especially for those of you who are like, say, I'm picking up a vibe as someone who might be a tarot reader. You might do this kind of stuff, or you might be a healer, or you might do something where you have to be around other people's energies, or like channeling energy, or doing something really spiritual or energy type work, and you need a lot of time alone, like in nature or something, to recharge. This person totally gets that and supports that and facilitates that, and like also is able to like either just be around you as well and kind of chill and like not necessarily need to talk, or like they can just go off and do their own thing. If you're like, hey, I actually just need a night to myself to like be alone, they are totally cool with that, and they go off and do their own respective things. So really beautiful energy. But yeah, there is a lot of purple energy. All these three cards are all purple, so this is definitely a very spiritual connection. I feel like that is going to be a big part of your relationship, is sharing on sort of spiritual topics, or speaking on those things together, or at least understanding those things. This person might not be like as into, say, tarot stuff as you are, or like, goddessy stuff, or whatever it is that is your jam, but they are really chill about it, and they love that you're into it, and they allow you ample space and time to kind of like delve into that kind of thing. And maybe like the more interested you are in it, the more that kind of opens that up for them as well. Because with that key and the keyhole, it's kind of like this connection helps open that world for both of you even more. It's like it helps awaken both of you even more kind of thing. Yeah, really beautiful energy. So let's see what else. So the next message, the next card we've got is how you might meet, some information on how you might meet. And we've got relaxation here. So I feel like this is one of those classic cryptic messages. I've got the tarot cards here, so I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a moment. But I feel that what this is saying is like, when you're relaxing and when you're not forcing anything and when you're not expecting anything or trying to make something happen or trying to take action on something, that will be when this connection comes in. So when you're really chilled and in a state of receptivity and just like enjoying a book and enjoying kind of learning something. So actually maybe in an environment of learning could be something, or like I'm hearing like a bookshop, or reading could be something. So in like a book group or a book club, or could be an online one, for example. Could be an online spiritual group or something. But it's an environment where you feel really relaxed, and an environment where you feel really free to be yourself and really chilled out about like what you're doing and who you are. And it's like you're not on the lookout for anyone. Like it's like this person's just chilling in a hammock, right? They're not dressed up and like going out to a club or like going, trying to organize a day. They're just chilling. And it's kind of that vibe of like, when you're just chilling, that's going to be when somehow through some means or other, this person kind of comes into your life, when you're really relaxed and you're in that receptive energy and you're just being yourself and you're really, really like, it's like you're kind of cool about it. It's like you're kind of not in any rush and you're not in any like state of trying to take action. You're in more of a receptive state. That's going to be how it happens. But let's go into the tarot and get some more messages on how you might meet. And then we'll go into, I've got some more cards here on the guidance from your person's higher self, a daily ritual for you to do to help call your person in, and some guidance from your higher self. So stick around if you want to hear those messages, but let's get a little bit more. Okay, so sorry, my hands are really small and these cards are really big, so it's a little bit clumsy to shuffle. I have pre-shuffled. Whoa, that came flying out. Okay, so 3 of Cups. I was asking on more detail on how you might meet your person, and we've got this energy of celebration and celebrating other people around you. There is a vibe kind of with these type of flowers. I think they're called bougainvillea, something like that. I forget. But anyway, the point is with those kind of flowers and the hammock here, this is giving me major holiday vibes. So maybe some of you will meet your person on holiday when you're like chilling, you're relaxing, you're maybe going out with friends at night, but during the day, you're reading a lot by a pool. I'm sort of getting that vibe, or on a beach or something. I'm hearing Maui. That's really specific. So that might be like one person. So that could be someone who, if you're tuning in and you've already met someone from there, that could be confirmation of that. Or if you are thinking of going on holiday or about to go on holiday there, that could be a sign that like you might meet someone. But yeah, it could be something where you meet them on holiday, or when you're kind of just really relaxed. And again, like I did speak of, for some of you, it could be like you meet them when you are part of some kind of group, like an online group or like a book group, or some sort of group where you feel comfortable being yourself. And we've got sort of 3 friends here. So it could be that like when you're just in your friendship group. So it could be that like this person meets you when you're out with friends or out with people where you're relaxed and comfortable being yourself. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from the 3 of Cups and relaxation. So let's see what else, if we can get any more messages about how you're going to meet. Because obviously this is a general reading, so this is going to be different for all of you, but just see what resonates. Just always never force a reading to fit. Just take which bits resonate and leave the rest. Okay. There might not be much. Oh, there we go. Let's see. 9 of Swords, but that came out in reverse. I feel like, and by the way, guys, I read intuitively, and I read as channeled. So I may not read a traditional message for a tarot card, and I don't always read reversals, only when I'm guided. So just to clarify that in case anyone's confused by my reading style, but it's always channeled. So let's see. So with 9 of Swords in reverse here, I feel like this is kind of saying, like, with the relaxation card, if this is something that you have been stressing about, when you're not stressed about it and when you're relaxed, that will be when this person comes in. It's like kind of confirmation from your guides to be like, don't stress, don't sweat, don't stay up thinking about this, don't worry about it. When you're relaxed will be when you're in the right vibration to like bring this about, or like evolve the relationship. If it is something where you've met them and it's been something difficult because you've had to kind of keep it secret and you're maybe stressing about it, like the guidance is to kind of let go, like let go of all the stress, let go of all the worry, and be in a state of relaxation and receptivity, and enjoy your time with your friends, enjoy your time, you know, celebrating, being yourself, doing things that you enjoy, you know, reading, relaxing, that kind of thing, being in that receptive energy. And that will be what magnetizes this person in, rather than like stressing about it or controlling it or trying to make it happen or trying to run around and take action on it. It's like, that's not what is going to bring about the best outcome in this situation, is what I'm feeling. I'm getting the vibe to pick one more. So let's just see if there's anything else. Okay. One more miss. Woo! Okay, here we go. Wow. And 8 of Swords also in reverse, which I'm going to take in reverse as well, this one. So yeah, again, I feel like this is linked with what I was saying at the beginning with the secrets and the like maybe needing to like this relationship has been restricted in some way, like you haven't been able to create a strong foundation, or you haven't been able to announce it publicly, or you haven't been able to like say move in together or something like that. It's like you've been tied up, basically, like your hands are tied, like their hands are tied, like something's blocked or something like that. But with it coming out in reverse, I feel like that time is going to pass. That sense of restriction, that sense of like feeling as if it's impossible, like feeling as if like, oh my gosh, there are so many things standing in our way to be together. Like there's so many like swords from other people, right? Like, you know, my family and your family and society and this and that and the other. There's so many things blocking us, and we just can't do it. But it's like that is going to fall away. Like you are going to be able to overcome those obstacles. It's like with the 8 of Swords, it's very much like it can be the card of like self-fulfilling prophecy, or almost like if you believe it to be true, that will be true. You know, like if you believe that it won't work out, then that will be what happens, right? Like if you are committed to that belief, that's, you know, you're showing up every day committing to the belief that it's just not going to work or something, then that will be what you will see. But with it coming out in reverse, I feel like you're dropping that belief, or you're letting go of that belief of like it not working, or being tied up, or it being restricted in some way, or it's never going to happen, or it's just this isn't going to work out. It's like it can work out. Like you can have this. It's just like, don't stress or worry about it. Like be in a state of relaxation, and like the universe can do the work and bring this about. Like there can be things that can go on behind the scenes, you know, like you have guides and they have guides, and like, you know, you can surrender the situation to them, relax, and just trust that the best possible outcome will happen for you, and that it will happen in divine timing. I do feel like there's a sense of it could be a timing thing for some of you. I was just being drawn to 39 here. So some of you might be a little bit older. It might be in your late 30s. There's 3 cards here, 31, 33, and 39. So they're all 30s cards. So it could be that, you know, it might be when you're a little bit older that this happens. Like maybe if you're, say, in your late 20s now or something, it might be that, you know, it's a timing thing, and there just needs to be a few things worked out behind the scenes. A few of these restrictions need to be pulled away. A few of these obstacles need to be resolved. And when you're in this state of like loving your life, loving being with your friends, you know, having fun, enjoying, like filling your own cup up and enjoying life, relaxing, boom, that will be when this connection comes about. Either if you've not met them yet, when you'll first meet them, or if you have met them and it hasn't kind of worked out quite for some social reason or something like that, you know, that will be when you surrender and let go. That will be when the universe does that work behind the scenes of like resolving some of these things enough for you to kind of like come together in the next stage. So I feel like that's all the messages for the tarot. I'm going to move into the rest of the reading now, which is about the guidance from their higher self to you. So this is from the Crystal Mandala Oracle. And the card that we have is Acceptance, Archangel Aniel, and Pink Calcite. So the pink calcite crystal could be really powerful for you right now. Pile number 3. I'm going to read a bit of the message from the guidebook for this card, and then I'll hold the rest up to the camera for you to take a picture, because it's a really long message and there is a healing process here for you to do. So let's go back to the message. This is from your person's higher self to you. So we bring you the gift of acceptance. Rather than encouraging a situation to remain the same, the gift of acceptance empowers you to move through an experience, uncovering the opportunity for personal growth and spiritual development that may be at first hidden behind a challenging set of circumstances. Wow. Interesting. It's talking about challenging set of circumstances. And I spoke about that with the secrets, like some of you might be in some kind of challenging set of circumstances. So exactly, it's confirming that. Resistance prevents you from being able to see the truth and grow through the opportunities that life brings you. Acceptance is necessary for you to be present rather than in resistance. When you are present, you can see what is happening more realistically, and you become able to respond to it with awareness. And you become able to respond to it with awareness. Then you shall grow and obtain more power and wisdom through that process, whilst you also become capable of receiving the divine assistance that will come to help you through any difficulty. Oh my goodness, what was I just saying about letting go and divine assistance being worked out behind the scenes? And then this card like exactly confirms that. I love when the cards like all sync up like that. That is so cool. So even if a situation seems challenging, your acceptance is the key to transforming it. It brings relief to your heart. It empowers you to take the step forward on your spiritual path that life is presenting to you. Through that step, new opportunities will arise. When you trust that no matter what appears to be, it is safe to trust that life is supporting you to manifest your divine potential, acceptance becomes easier and feels more natural and more joyful. Ah, that's so beautiful. So I'll hold the rest of it up to the camera, and you guys can take a screenshot if you want to read it. Hopefully you can read that okay. Sometimes the quality looks okay from my end when I'm looking at it through my camera, but then once it ends up on YouTube, it's not the clearest, but we'll see how we go. And here is the healing process for those of you that want to do the healing process in your own time. I did also explain to, I think it was pile 2, that if you feel drawn to doing a healing process, you don't have to copy the one in this book. You can create your own with a crystal. So the pink calcite crystal could be really useful for you. So you can certainly just create a little crystal ritual where you pop it on your chest, on your heart, and ask it to help you find acceptance with this situation and surrender the situation. Or even writing, for those of you that like writing or scripting or journaling, just write, I accept this, I surrender these circumstances. I humbly ask or humbly pray for acceptance to move through this situation, and for spirit to resolve these challenging circumstances. For those of you that have met your person and it might be impossible at the moment to date them maybe, or to be together because of some kind of cultural situation or something, some kind of religious situation or something like that. Really, really trust that there is guidance coming to you, and that there is support from like your higher selves and from your whole like team and spirit to bring you two together. But it's just trusting in the timing of when it's going to unfold. And letting go of the stress and worries and anxieties here, and the blocks that are, like focus less on the blocks and focus more on the like connection. And that will be what will start to manifest once you're in that state of relaxation. So that is the message from your person's higher self. And then we've got a daily ritual for you. These messages are from your higher self to you on what energy you can tap into to help draw this connection in. And we have got, oh my goodness, another message about acceptance. So double message about acceptance here. Card number 2, and also the number 2, that is a confirmation of partnership, because 2 is about partnerships and union and soulmates and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely confirmation of that. It's definitely saying accept that, this person is like your mirror soul. We've got this person here looking in the mirror, and it's like they can feel you, you can feel them. This person is here for you. So even if you haven't met them, like you can still connect with them through your heart. But it does say here, the mantra is, today I acknowledge, allow, and accept every emotion. So if this has been something that has been really making you feel very, very emotional, that might have been stirring a lot of things up. I did speak about with the Nyx goddess at the beginning that some of you may be triggered a little bit when you meet this person. There may be a lot of triggers that may come up to be healed. So it's really important to go through that process and allow all your emotions out, and don't judge them, don't label them, just let them go, just let them out. They're just things that, it's just energy, right? It's just energy that needs to be released from the body. So there's nothing that needs to be kind of figured out or whatever. It just needs to be allowed. It just needs to be allowed to be expressed. So if you have already met this person and it's been a difficult connection from the beginning and you feel like you can't be together, go through a process where you let all the frustration and the rage and the anxiety and the stress, just let it out, let it go, purge it, write it down and burn it under a full moon or something like that. Just any kind of ritual that helps you to let it go. Maybe connecting with water could be useful for some of you, like having a bath, and then as you drain the water, you let all the water go down the drain and you ask that it purge all that emotion in releasing it down the drain, that's energetically going to carry that emotion that you feel about the situation down the drain with it. So anything like that you can certainly create your own rituals, or even just saying, today I acknowledge, allow, and accept every emotion. Just that mantra is something that you can repeat to yourself when you start to feel uncomfortable emotions arise or triggers arise or anything like that. So that is your daily ritual. And finally, we've got some messages from your higher self. So to begin with, we have, my greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. Yeah, exactly. We did speak about like being free to be you and relaxing and, being sort of out and about and enjoying your life with that 3 of Cups card. And I feel like that is the energy that your person loves to see you in, and that will kind of help magnetize them towards you, is when you're relaxed and you're being yourself and you're letting go and you're not thinking about how others are thinking about you. Like you're just being you. You're just being like, blah, like crazy and not worrying about anything. And that's when like you will just light up like this little beacon in some way, and your person will be like, who is that? I have got to go and talk to them. They just look really cool, and like they're just having so much fun, and they're in their own energy, and they love themselves, and it's a very attractive energy to be in. So that's really important. That's coming through strongly from your higher self. And then we have got, compassion is my compass. I'm willing to hold space for the experience of others. Yeah, so I feel like this is kind of a message about, for those of you who maybe you've met your person and it's one of those connections where for some reason other people are making it difficult for you. And there could be a lot of frustration about that, a lot of like anger maybe, or anxiety, or a lot of difficult emotion around other people. And so there's a need to just like, I guess as much as you can, and I know it can be really difficult to do this, but as much as like small-minded opinions of others or prejudiced opinions of others can be very painful to accept, especially when it directly impacts your life. Being able to be compassionate and sort of see that like they are operating from like a faulty programming, that like, okay, so, you can kind of say, well, yes, they should just wake up and like be more enlightened or whatever. But like they are on their own soul journey. And I think what your higher self or your spirit team wants to guide you towards is like coming into a state of relaxation and not getting too stressed about, we had that 9 of Swords energy here, like sleepless nights, insomnia, that kind of thing, getting really upset and worried about, maybe other people's opinions about the relationship or the connection or something. And it's like, if you can just relinquish that, surrender that, just see see that for what it is and feel compassion for those people that they haven't had the enlightenment that you have, and they haven't had the awakening that you have, or they haven't got the experience of unconditional love in their heart for all of humanity. They're just still in a judgmental place, and that must be a really horrible place to be in, and just feel compassion for them. And letting that experience be their experience and not needing to change it necessarily. And that will just maybe help you to kind of not take on that burden, I guess, of other people too much. So finally we have that's basically confirming, kind of off the back of that card. It's the same sort of energy, really the same message. I can forgive people quickly, release my resentment, and set myself free. Yeah, so I think like maybe for those of you who've had other people try to interfere, or they've blocked the connection in some way, or gotten involved, or there's just maybe something to do with other people, or like a whole set of people. It could be like a whole religion or a whole culture or a whole race that have this thing, or a whole family unit or a whole community or whatever it might be. And it's like, I feel like for some of you, there might be a lot of resentment around that, which is totally understandable. And I would completely be the same if I was in that position. And it is really, I can only imagine that must be an extremely difficult position to be in, if, like I said, it's directly impacting your life and preventing you from being with this person. But I feel like what Spirit's trying to say is like, this relationship is like very divinely guided, and it is going to happen. And maybe there's some roadblocks at the moment, and maybe there's some obstacles, but like, not to get too hung up on those other people that are causing those, and just trust that like the divine can bring this about when it's meant to happen. And not to carry around with you so much resentment or, frustration at these people, because it's like they're just sort of operating at the level that they're meant to. It's like maybe they're these challenging circumstances that we spoke of in with this card are happening for a bit of a reason. Like, you might not be able to see it now, and it might feel really rubbish, and I totally understand that, but it's like your relationship is so spiritual and evolved that it's kind of like it's here to transform so much more than just the two of you. It's going to transform everyone around you. But there's just like, it's like it's a real test. It's a real like kind of like a spiritual test to essentially try to find like almost like a sense of compassion or understanding, at least, or at the very least acceptance for this situation and these people and this restriction or whatever it is, and focus on the love. And like, when you can do that and stay in that vibration as much as possible and stay focused on yourself and your life, then that will be when behind the scenes something will just fall into place, things will start to shift, and you will be in a position where this relationship can come into some kind of like harmonious union, or go to the next stage, or you meet them for the first time if you haven't met them yet. So that is all the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to leave a comment below if this resonated. I really love to hear from you, and I will reply to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading, and hit the like button so it tells the YouTube algorithm to send my video around, and it helps my little baby channel to grow. I so appreciate each and every one of you. All the best with your journey, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye.